sync. Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning, and good night to another episode of the Inner Circle podcast.
Yes.
The Inner Circle United podcast, I should say.
Yeah.
Sorry, this is not the first time we're recording this, and you will never hear what happened before.
Yep. Technical difficulties.
Don't give it away, it could have been a ghost for all they know.
But they don't know who we are yet.
And I will tell them in a second. Joining me is Alice Moss. Hello, Alice.
Hello, James.
And I am James.
I just gave you away.
You're giving the game away. Man, we seem so unprofessional. So we're every podcast team.
Anyway, we've got some Twitter handles and some news, right?
Yeah, let's start off with Twitter. I am at James _ S Wilson. No. Wait, what is it? I forgot my own Twitter handle. You go first.
That was correct. I am
James
Alice
_ S Wilson. Just to get that done.
And my Twitter handle is Alice CSR Moss. So
this is a train wreck of a start. You know what else is a train wreck? The Star Trek Beyond trailer.
Yeah, okay, let's just dive right into the news because you know who we are. Star Trek Beyond trailer came out this week.
Did you see it?
And everybody just kind of went meh. Because...
It's very meh.
Yeah, it was just more of what we've seen before. And the music was the same, the shots were really similar, and it was...
The music was not the same. It was...
Really?
It was starkly different.
Really? I thought we had Beastie Boys on that trailer.
No, not at all.
I must have imagined it. Maybe I was thinking of the Beastie Boys while I watched that trailer because I was so bored.
Yeah.
Possible. Well, we got other trailers this week to talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Trek Beyond was probably the least of, interesting trailer that came out this week.
I don't know if it's interesting, but a new Ghostbusters trailer came out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like it's interesting now because of how terrible the first trailer was and how badly received it was.
The recently dethroned most disliked trailer on YouTube was the Ghostbusters official first trailer.
Yeah. No,
now
dethroned by, the terrible Infinite Warfare, but...
Which I don't think it looks that terrible, but that is for a different podcast.
I mean, I thought that, with the second Ghostbusters trailer, we got more of what we've seen before, which was, the setting and stuff like that, but we also got, we got, a lot of callbacks to the old movie.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was making an appearance.
No, I didn't know that either,
But he is,
actually.
and that would have been a really, really nice surprise.
Yeah, and we also got, I don't know, I mean, I feel, we got, this trailer was better paced, it had better music, it had better jokes.
But it had less Kate McKinnon. And that's annoying.
Yes, it did. Yeah, that was a bit annoying.
I want as much Kate McKinnon as possible. And I found out that Cecily Strong's in the movie, which makes me happier.
Oh, one thing I was really happy about this trailer, not only did they show Chris Hemsworth, who I think was a really good casting as their secretary, but it was the return of Chris Hemsworth's awesome Aussie accent, and I'm so happy with that.
Yeah.
That made me happy. I was just yeah. Even though, every scene he was in was terrible.
When was the last time he was Australian in a film?
I don't know, actually. I really don't know. I mean, he wasn't Australian for his short cameo in Star Trek... Or his thing in Cabin in the Woods, or any of those movies.
Nor for In the Heart of the Sea, or Rush.
Yeah. Well, we got Aussie Chris Hemsworth now.
Great.
And he's in a terrible movie.
Well, it's better than being in Expendables 2 like his brother Liam.
Yeah, that's all. Although his brother Liam is also in, what's it called? The one about aliens destroying the Earth all over again?
Oh, Independence Day,
Resurgence.
Why did we need another one?
Yeah, that movie. But I mean... with this new trailer, we get shown a lot of good things, but I feel like if that's the best of the movie, then, the movie's still going to be terrible. Those were all the best scenes. And
you know something? I don't think the movie's going to be terrible. I think there's a very, very famous critic in the UK called Mark Kermo. Some of you may have heard of him. And he... says the thing is that a film is funny if it passes the 6 laugh test. If you laugh 6 different times, it's succeeded as a comedy.
That's a really low bar for a test.
Yeah, but there's a lot of...
I tell you, if I laugh 6 times in
There are a lot of comedies that don't make you laugh 6 times. Like Hangover 2.
I laughed twice during Hangover 2, probably.
Yeah, but you didn't laugh 6 times.
No, I meant to say 6 times. Did I say twice? Yes, I said twice. Anyway, I heard a lot of people complaining again about the thing in the first trailer that also annoyed me is, everyone is overacting. Like,
Well,
everything, all the comedy is
movie, and it's basically an homage to one of the most famous action comedies there's ever been.
This is not an homage. This is a bastardization. This is awful. Like, this is not at all what I wanted for a Ghostbusters movie. I mean, I don't even care that, they got 4 women in it, because 4 women, well, it could work. Unfortunately, the script is awful.
We don't know if it's awful yet.
Well, we've seen... I mean, a trailer is designed to show you the best bits of the movie, and what we've seen is really bad. And I mean, a lot of people... And again, like, if they're gonna cast 4 women and be all contrary, I think nobody said it better than Jeremy Jahns when he was talking about it, and he's another reviewer on YouTube, and he said, if you're gonna cast 4 women and be all progressive, why would you have the black woman as the one with all the street knowledge? Like, isn't that pretty... I mean, why not have her with a PhD? Oh, no, that's going too far. So yeah, I just felt that everyone in this trailer overacts, and it's really tiring for me to watch that.
Should we talk about a trailer that we both actually liked?
Yeah. Did we find one?
Yes. Not in comedy, not in action, not in superheroes, but in the good old reliable sense of American horror movies. Because
the horror movie genre is not reliable.
It's more...
But this one was good.
Yeah, we saw a trailer for a film called Don't Breathe.
Yes, Don't Breathe.
Now, for those of you who don't know about it, I'm going to give you a very quick pitch, because you can with this movie. That's one of the brilliant things about it.
It's a quick pitch movie.
An elevator pitch movie, as some people might say. A group of criminals break into this house because they think there's loads of money in there, and they know the guy who lives there is blind. So they go in the night, and the guy wakes up, and it turns out he's blind, but he basically can see everything. He's like Stick from Daredevil, but...
He's Stick from Daredevil.
He's Stick from Daredevil. If you try to break into Stick from Daredevil's house, that's what this movie is.
Yes.
He even looks like him. He even looks and sound like him.
I mean, from that premise that you gave me, I was really dubious. So I went and watched the trailer, and it's really good. I was surprised.
Tense as hell.
Yeah, I was really taken aback for how good that movie is. Sorry, the trailer was, especially, the last half of it. Where, he kind of turns off the lights, or I think from the trailer it's implied that he turns off the lights, and, seeing them kind of with these, in the dark cameras, it really gave the tone for me of that.
And it's not those, night vision cameras, so everything's green and black. Everything's grey and black, so you can sort of
and black
see
and white
everything.
was a nice callback for a movie, actually. I like it when you have a movie that's in black and white, but for different reasons.
Yeah.
But still, I felt like that. I always felt black and white gave a certain emphasis on the people in the movie. So yeah. But no, that trailer was really good, especially when, he's then he kind of suddenly, he holds up one of the attackers and kind of holds the gun to his head, and then... fires the gun, and you really don't see it coming, but has no idea how many people are in the house. I thought that was one of the best things about this trailer, is,
very good.
Basically, the murderer doesn't know how many people there are in the house.
It was just really good. Good. There are good films as well.
Yeah.
There are a lot of good films come out that people just don't know anything about.
One problem with that movie that I can see potentially that a lot of horror movies fall into is having really slow periods of the film. Like, very briefly in this film we see...
I don't think we'll get that. I think maybe the build-up, but once they get in the house...
That's the thing. If we have half an hour of build-up for this movie, the movie's gonna flop, because half an hour of build-up, everybody in the theatre's gone to sleep.
There was half an hour of build-up to The Babadook and It Follows, and those are great.
I didn't like It Follows, actually. I thought It Follows was actually kind of dull. Didn't do anything for me. Good premise. One really scary scene, when, that guy comes through the doorway and It Follows. But apart from that, I have to admit, It Follows really bored me. Seriously bored me.
I think that there was another trailer we were going to talk about. Sausage Party.
Yes, Sausage Party. Seth Rogen, interestingly, Preacher has come out on Amazon Prime, just a quick mention.
He's a busy man.
It's getting fantastic reviews, and that was written by Seth Rogen. But anyway, trailer came out for Sausage Party, his new animated film.
This is the official trailer, because the teaser trailer came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah, the teaser trailer came out a few weeks ago, and a lot of people were kind of iffy about it, and so the full trailer's released now. How do you feel about it?
I don't think it's going to be bad, but I'm not riveted to see it. I'm not really excited. I'll see it if somebody brings me, but I don't think I'm going to pay to go see it.
I have to admit that it was better than I thought it would be. Like, I never expect much from a Seth Rogen movie, to be honest. Like, when I heard he was writing Preacher, I was really dubious. But actually, Sausage Party, I mean, the trailer made me laugh. Then again, Seth Rogen's movies usually have good things in the trailer.
I don't think it's cool that they made the potato Irish.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Seth Rogen movies, you know, there's a lot of dick jokes. And,
I'm just saying.
Yeah. There's just a lot of kind of phallus-based humour.
And whenever I look at the poster for Sausage Party or the trailer for it, I always think of the terrible animated movie Food Fight. This is like the animated movie of The Room. It's so bad. It's so bad. It's not even good. It's that. I
thought
bad.
You hated the Good Dinosaur.
The Good Dinosaur is just a bad movie.
Really? I think, a lot of people would disagree with you on that. It got mixed reviews, but it didn't get outright appalling reviews.
Oh, it was a terrible movie.
Anyway,
I think we should move on from trailers.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps up our trailers.
We could talk about trailers for weeks and weeks and weeks, but actual news has happened in the past few weeks. Also, I want to quickly apologise for there not being a TiC United podcast recently. There were a bunch of things that went wrong. We're both very busy people. We love doing what we do, but we have lives as well.
Anyway, enough. They've finally waited. We've finally done a podcast. Come on, we got news. We got news. With big news of one of my favourite actresses in the world, Alicia Vikander, getting the role as Lara Croft in the Tomb Raider movie. This is so good. Yeah, I like that piece of casting. I really do. I think that was, obviously everyone knows Tomb Raider. The new movies have come out. We've got Rise of the Tomb Raider and the Tomb Raider reboot in 2012. Yeah, the games, yeah. So, everybody now knows Tomb Raider. And we finally got another movie, which looks way better. And Alicia Vikander is a good casting, in my opinion. She's a really good actress.
Very, very good. She was in my second favourite movie of last year.
Which one was that one?
Ex Machina.
Ah, yes, Ex Machina, yes. I thought, I liked her in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. That's where I first saw Alicia Vikander. I've still yet to see Ex Machina because I missed it in the cinema, but I thought in The Man from U.N.C.L.E., she did a really good job, even though she was in a supporting role. So,
she did a very good job in a supporting role in The Danish Girl, for which she won an Oscar.
Yeah, I have to admit
first nomination, first win. You got to admit that's pretty special.
True, but they've given out I don't know. I feel like for me the Oscars isn't really a proof of someone.
Yeah, we do live in a world where Adrian Brody won an Oscar, so
I don't agree with Jennifer Lawrence's Oscar.
You don't agree with it?
Nah, didn't. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence's Oscar, I don't actually think Jennifer Lawrence is that great of an actress. Contrary opinion.
I think I think she's very talented, but I think the shine might be wearing off.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about that. But
and X-Men Apocalypse does not help.
No, it doesn't. But back to Alicia Vikander, Tomb Raider. Obviously, the thing about Alicia Vikander is that she is not, as her name would suggest, she is not an English actress. She's Swedish, which, I'm not biased, but yeah.
But she is very, very English.
Is she?
Yeah, she sounds it. She sounds really English. If you watch The Danish Girl, she sounds more English than Eddie Redmayne at times.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I feel like not casting a British actress was a good idea. I like that because I feel like if you cast a British actress, the temptation will be to make it overly British, which was the problem with the Angelina Jolie abomination, which we will not speak of.
I think it's all right.
No.
I don't think it's still the best video game movie. Actually, no, Angry Birds.
Really? Did you like Angry Birds?
I didn't love it, but it was 90 minutes of fun.
Yeah.
I laughed 6 times. I laughed 6 times in one scene.
Wow.
I did enjoy it. There was a scene where it doesn't matter. It's not worth talking about, but it was good. And if you have small children and want them to shut up, then take them to see Angry Birds.
Well, with the Tomb Raider casting, I like who they've got. She's a good actress. We know she's a good actress. She can kick ass, like she did in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and she did in Ex Machina. So I think that's a good choice.
What do you think the film will be? Do you think there will be like a titular villain that she has to take out, or will it just be like her against the elements?
That's the tricky thing, because I feel like...
It could be either, and it could work equally as well.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like that depends a lot on the director, and what the director feels they want for a movie, and also what, the script writers feel they want for a movie. But we do have another movie that's very similar to Tomb Raider, in that it's also a video game movie.
And that involves a lot of climbing.
Yes, a lot of climbing, a lot of parkour.
Assassin's Creed.
Yes.
We got the first trailer.
Yeah. That came out.
With, coincidentally, Alicia Vikander's supposed romantic partner, Michael Fassbender.
Yeah. Well, coincidence indeed. But, I mean, that got a genuinely positive reception, the Assassin's Creed trailer. Was it this week it came out, or last week?
Recently.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah, recently. Yeah, I mean, it got a relatively positive reception. But what did you think
apart from the Kanye West song?
Yeah, what did you think about it? The trailer?
I love Kanye West, so I was hyped. But there was a cut where somebody used the trailer music from Assassin's Creed Revelations. I believe the artist is Woodkid or Iron Kid, something like that. And that
was it Run Boy Run, or whatever that song is by Woodkid.
I don't know. It's
probably that one. It's almost certainly that one. But yeah. Anyway, I mean, what did you?
The actual trailer itself. I think it looked cool. We don't really know anything about it other than that it takes place during the Spanish Inquisition, because nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Their chief weapons are surprise, fear, and surprise. Their two main weapons are surprise and fear.
Yeah, but there was a piece of news recently that about 60% of it takes place in the real day.
You know what? I'm okay with that.
I may be misquoting, sorry, those percentages, but about 60% of it takes place in the modern day, and about, like, the equivalent a portion takes place in, the Spanish Inquisition.
Here's why this makes a lot of sense, because people are going, I don't want to see anything, because in the games you play and you always try and stay in the Animus as much as you can.
Yeah. It's all in the Animus.
Here's why it has to be the other way around, because in the real world they have Marion Cotillard, Jeremy Irons, and Michael Fassbender. They have to be on screen for a lot of the movie, so it has to take place in that time. And with the, I want to say, reimagining of the Animus, where it isn't just a thing where somebody lies in, it's connected.
Yeah,
and it's sort of like a virtual reality thing. So because
we see that in the trailer, that he has that kind of big metallic arm around him, as it were, and it's kind of lifting him about the place as he does the parkour, which I actually thought was quite neat. But you haven't asked me what I thought of the trailer.
What do you think of the trailer, Alice?
I actually didn't like it. I thought that I really wanted to like this movie. Like, I really want to like Assassin's Creed. I want to be wrong, but
it still can be good. It still can be good mood.
Exactly, and there are things that I like. Obviously, I really like the Animus, the way they've reimagined it, but I just didn't like the tone of the movie. I didn't, I thought a lot of things in that trailer looked really fake. Like when the lady assassin, or I'm assuming she's an assassin, jumps down and, stabs those two people, and it just looked really, really fake. I mean, staged, and
That's because people don't do that. That's not how assassinations
but when I say it looked really fake... Well, yeah, but I mean, like, when I watched Civil War and Captain America hit somebody in the face with a shield, it really looks as if he's hit someone in the face with a shield. That's just good stunt work.
That's a valid point.
And I feel like the stunt work in this looked really bad. Just from the trailer, the couple of seconds we got. And I thought some of the acting didn't look really on point. Michael Fassbender didn't feel as if he was that into the role for me.
We got to remember from what point his character's at. He's just been... he's just died. And then he's told, you have to go into the past now.
Yeah, but he just seemed a bit robotic to me. Like, he just seemed kind of soulless. Like, Michael Fassbender was just kind of standing there and everything was happening around him.
Is this Fassbender as assassin or in the room?
But both. Like, Michael Fassbender in the real life and in the Animus. I just felt that kind of... he's there to look gormless, and I think that's a waste of Michael Fassbender. But to be fair, it's a really short trailer, and we don't really get to see much, but, if not 60% of the movie is taking place in a dark room, then the script better be good.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it's brilliant.
Maybe it is. Yeah, I hope
everyone likes the first two Assassin's Creed games. And
I don't want it to be a waste of Michael Fassbender's casting. But on casting news,
yes,
we do have some other stuff to talk about.
A lot of casting things have come out. Let's start with, because we're a movies podcast and Marvel keeps coming up.
Marvel is doing a lot of news lately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's their time. One of their movies has come out, so we live in the aftermath of that, and then another one of their movies is coming out in 6 months.
Yeah, Doctor Strange.
Yes.
So.
But Thor Ragnarok.
We've had casting.
The Marvel movie that nobody wanted.
Yeah. Nobody asked for. And Marvel doesn't really want to make.
But I don't know why they have to make it. Do they have to make it?
Yeah, I feel like they do. Yeah.
But all the Infinity stuff, who cares?
Well, they had the setup in Avengers Age of Ultron. Chris Hemsworth signed on for the movie. A whole load of other people have signed on for the movie. I feel like they kind of have to make it at this point.
There are 2 names in the casting edition. Actually, there are 3 names that got everyone excited. One of them is...
We already know that Loki's confirmed.
Yes,
and we already know that Mark Ruffalo is officially signed on, obviously, as the Hulk.
That was the one I was going to say.
Yeah, that's the one everyone... But to be fair, we already knew that a few months ago.
Idris Elba is back as the dude who does the gate landing.
Heimdall.
That's his name. But the Goldblum, Jeff Goldblum.
Yes. That was a bizarre piece of casting.
It makes no sense, and I bet you he's going to be...
Jeff Goldblum?
I reckon he's going to be a scientist.
Oh, I really hope not. I don't want it to become like a parody of itself.
It's gonna be him and Stellan Skarsgård being weird at each other.
No, I really don't want that to be the case.
Of course it's going to be that. He's going to be... Because he's Jeff Goldblum, that's what he does.
Yeah. If it was just a bit...
It's really cool when... it's amazing when... he does a lot of that.
Yeah. If it's just like a cameo of Jeff Goldblum, or like a 5-minute thing... You know the way the Collector is in Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
I forget who he's played by, but he's
Benicio
quite famous.
del Toro.
Yeah, yes, thank you. Benicio del Toro. I can never remember these things. But like,
for a long time, I always confused Benicio del Toro and Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, Guillermo del Toro, yeah. The gothic master of horror. But no, I mean, I feel like, Jeff Goldblum's a bit of a weird... Like, if he's a collector type, then I'd be okay with it, and he's in the movie for like 5 minutes. But if he's a major player in the movie, I might take issue with that. I
would actually love it if he's there as Jeff Goldblum, and then it cuts to him when a battle's going on. And he goes, "Wow, this is weird." I would be okay with that. I'd really be okay with that.
I mean, just talk about our next piece of casting, and then I've got something to say about
Kate
the whole
Blanchett.
Yes. Kate Blanchett's been cast in Thor.
Now, here is it. I want to quickly go through my favourite quote about Kate Blanchett, which came from Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt Season 2. I love Kate Blanchett. She's really good. Is she good, or is she just tall?
I don't know.
No, she is very talented. As a fellow Australian, I have to love her. But yeah. I mean, Kate Blanchett, what do you think?
I feel like from Jeff Goldblum and Kate Blanchett, I really feel like Marvel is hiring big names. Like, there was another piece of casting, which is Sharon Stone. Sharon Stone has announced that she's been cast in an as yet untitled role. And I think that role will inevitably be Hank Pym's wife. Because, of course, Hank Pym is played by Michael Douglas, and Sharon Stone and Michael Douglas were famously together in...
Basic Instinct.
Yeah, Basic Instinct. And I just feel that, that is inevitable. But Marvel is casting really big-name actors. I mean, we've got Jeff Goldblum, we've got Benedict Cumberbatch in Doctor Strange, we've got Kate Blanchett, we have... who's the lady playing the wise one? The ancient one, sorry.
Tilda Swinton.
And we now have Sharon Stone. Although Sharon Stone said it was a really small part, basically a tiny weeny part, like a cameo.
Oh, like Hayley Atwell. Like Hayley Atwell's part.
Yeah, kind of like that. I mean, Hayley Atwell's there to tie the universe together, so I kind of like Hayley Atwell's cameos. Plus, she's my girl crush. But Marvel's casting really big name actors and actresses, which is an interesting change from the Chris Pratt type castings.
Do you think that people are just lining up to be in Marvel movies to collect a paycheck?
Oh, definitely. Oh yeah. Who in the whole of Christendom doesn't want to be in a Marvel movie now? Everybody wants to be in a Marvel movie.
Maguire.
Yeah, Tobey Maguire. Tobey Maguire is the only person who doesn't want to be in a Marvel movie. Andrew Garfield.
Anyone who was part of Spider-Man 3.
Yes, all of that. But I mean, I just think that's an interesting change that you can see with these castings. And I mean, we've also had... I don't know, I mean, with Thor Ragnarok, it's tricky. Like,
no
I've
one
heard
cares.
they're trying to make it a road movie. Like a road movie with Hulk and Thor. Yeah. And I'm not so keen on the director that they have doing it.
Who is directing it?
I mean, Marvel has freely admitted that Thor is a failing franchise as well. They've openly admitted that they, have difficulty doing things.
Can we just have a Loki solo movie?
Yeah, where's that Loki solo movie?
Why don't we have a Loki solo movie? I know everyone's like, Scarlet.
Kevin Feige did talk about the Black Widow. Black Widow solo movie.
I want Loki before I want Black Widow. I'm sorry, ScarJo, but
it's Tom Hiddleston. It's T. Hiddy.
I want, like, a Loki movie where he's actually on the back foot. I really want that. I feel like that would be good.
Or just an extended cut of him talking to small children again.
Yes, that was awesome. That was amazing. Anyway, we also had another piece of casting news. It's not strictly speaking confirmed.
Michael Keaton!
Yes.
Woohoo!
James is a big fan of Michael Keaton.
I love Michael Keaton. Birdman is my fourth favourite movie of all time.
Well, Michael Keaton is rumoured to be cast in Spider-Man Homecoming, so another Marvel property. Most people are speculating that he will be cast as Vulture, who's been rumoured to be the villain, which we'll talk about in a minute. But what do you think about Michael Keaton represents a really big Hollywood name. I mean, he's just off of the back of Birdman and Spotlight.
Well, I love Michael Keaton, and I think he's had he wasn't in a lot of movies from like the mid-2000s, and then he started doing more, and now he's just doing
he bounced back.
Now he's just doing movie after movie after movie.
Yeah, he's one of the most in-demand, like, older actors in Hollywood at the moment.
Yeah, and I think all the better for it. I think he's really, really talented.
See, it's interesting that I don't like Michael Keaton. I really, like, I didn't like Birdman.
Did you see Spotlight?
No, I haven't seen Spotlight.
He was fantastic in Spotlight. Really brilliant.
My issue is with Michael Fassbender himself. Like, you know when they cast Alan Rickman?
Yeah.
I feel like Michael Keaton is wasted as, like, playing the hero, and I really don't like it when he plays heroes, because really he is a villain. Like, if he was a villain in Spider-Man Homecoming, then it might be a bit better, but he just has the face of somebody who's not very nice.
But there's a variety of older characters in the Spider-Man canon that he could play. He could be J. Jonah Jameson. He could be Norman Osborn.
Yes. Do you want to move on, actually? Because there is...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. We have a piece of really big news.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, let's start this off by saying, this is not confirmed.
Yes.
This is not from Marvel. This is not from Sony.
No.
This is from Reddit.
Yeah, and 4chan. But...
4chan, the most reliable place on the internet.
True. But the source that leaked this has leaked confirmed information in the past. So this is not coming from someone who is... like a nobody, it's not coming from some random person. This is actually like from a source that has leaked accurate information in the past.
And this source has leaked, apparently, the entire plotline. Is it a script as well?
No, it's not the script, but it's the basic outline in quite a lot of detail, like a reasonable amount of detail. For Spider-Man Homecoming. Yes.
Now you can run through. Can you run through this in like a minute?
Yes. Oh, okay. Right. I will run through for you all in a minute the basic summary of this plotline.
Have you got your timers ready? Because I do.
No, I might run over a little bit in a minute,
okay.
But essentially the plotline is this. A lot of this rumor before I start, a lot of this rumor correlates to rumors we've had previously from very reliable sources like Heroic Hollywood. With the villain being Vulture and stuff. But anyway, basic plotline is Spider-Man is going about doing his thing as per usual. You see a lot of his teenage life, like, in his school, you see a lot of, him organising things and stuff like that. The villain will be Norman Osborn, but he's having an argument with the man who will eventually become Vulture, and Vulture ends up running through one thing and another. Vulture ends up running off with the Vulture suit, which is now a suit based off of the same technology that Falcon and, those other suits have, the flying technology. Spidey has to take him down, Iron Man helps him in that, it's kind of... I felt that, you just type in the Spider-Man Homecoming, like, plot leak and you'll be able to listen to the whole thing, because it goes on for about 21 minutes, but the basic fact of it is that what we've heard sounds really good. Like, we've heard individual lines and... I felt like it had the right theme to it.
It doesn't sound like a train wreck compared to other Fox and Sony movies.
Absolutely not. No.
But the thing is, it doesn't sound like something that would be a massive success. Like, if somebody pitched me the entire plotline of Guardians of the Galaxy before I'd seen it, I'd be really excited. But I think what's going to sell this movie is the dialogue.
See, I
more
actually
than anything else.
Like, listening to that, I listened to the whole breakdown from I can't remember which YouTuber I listened to it, but he did the whole breakdown, and I'm a really big Spidey fan. I was so excited hearing that breakdown. Like, we hear a couple lines from Spider-Man, there's a couple winks at the audience, like, I think there's a moment described in it where Iron Man kind of says, oh, you know, do you have a thing for redheads? Or something like that, and obviously that's a callback to Mary Jane. And at the end of the movie, apparently, this is a rumour, the movie's a long way away, you know, Aunt May has been trying to set him up for a date, and the date eventually turns out to be Mary Jane, which I thought was a brilliant piece of, you know, just really good organisation, really nice for the audience. It's the way Spider-Man movies should be done. And I love the fact that you see a lot of his teenage life. Which is the whole thing about Spidey.
Yeah. Well, Tom Holland won everyone's hearts in Civil War.
Definitely.
So if he is the main focus of the Spider-Man movie, which he probably will be because it's a Spider-Man movie, it's already off to a great start.
I also thought that from the leak that happened, Iron Man's cameo felt really smooth, really natural. And I like the fact that they're also emphasizing that Peter Parker is really clever. I mean, that was the thing that all the other Spider-Man movies just glossed over, was the fact that Peter Parker is one of the cleverest people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And one of the strongest.
Yes!
Like, a really strong.
Yeah, I mean, in Civil War, we see him just kind of hold a punch from the Winter Soldier. I believe in the comic of Civil War, he holds a punch from the Hulk. Yes. No, wait. I don't think Hulk was in Civil War. The comic.
Would you not? You probably
no.
not. I
think at some point Spidey has actually held a. Yeah, I think.
But I know that to be true. I've seen that image before.
Yeah.
Of him holding his own, at least for a very brief period, against the Hulk.
One thing, when I heard the leak, it suddenly occurred to me that there isn't a lot of action. Like what's described in that
not at all.
leak. Yeah, it's
moments.
actually. Yeah, there's moments, and there'll probably be really cool moments of action. Obviously, we have. If Vulture's the main villain, then, you know, we'll have Spider-Man swinging over the city and doing his thing.
But again, if I use Guardians as an example, there isn't, apart from the end and the beginning and a little bit in the middle, there isn't a lot of action in that movie.
Did you just say, apart from the beginning, the middle, and the end, there isn't a lot of action? No,
apart from like set pieces in the beginning, middle, and the end.
I don't know. I felt the Guardians had. I mean, you got the beginning scene where you've got the action, you've got the kiln. No, sorry, is it the kiln? Yeah, maybe. The big prison.
Yeah.
And then the end battle scene. You've got lots of mini fights in the middle, you know, with Gamora.
But you haven't got massive set pieces. Apart from the ones you just mentioned.
I mean, like, with Ant-Man, one of the things that made Ant-Man such a good movie was it was small scale.
Yes, Ant-Man is a much better comparison point. Forget what I said.
Yeah, Guardians is not a good comparison, but Ant-Man is the perfect comparison. Ant-Man is
it's an insect as well.
Yeah, that's actually right. But
spiders aren't insects, but carry on.
Yeah, they're not. But you know, it's small scale, small creature. But I mean, like with Ant-Man, you know, Ant-Man is a dad, and that's a huge part of who he is as a character. With Spider-Man, a huge bit of his character is the fact that he's a high school kid, and we really see that in that script leak.
We need an Ant-Man Spider-Man crossover. We need it.
Oh my god, yeah. I'm not sure if they're the best crossover. I think Iron Man and Spidey are the best crossover.
It's
really.
Good, yeah.
Realistically, yeah.
Just more Ant-Man. Just want more Ant-Man.
What do you think? I mean, so Michael Keaton, we have the casting now. We talked about the plot leak. We have Jonah Jameson in this movie. Not J. Jonah Jameson, although we do have him in the movie.
Supposedly.
But Norman Osborn. So Norman Osborn features a lot in that plot leak because, you know, he's developing this kind of weapons and he's talking about the fact that he's one of the main business rivals of Stark Industries. I love the fact that we have Norman Osborn and all of that, all of those previously, well, still Sony properties mixing with Marvel. I just think that's great.
The one thing I want with Norman Osborn, if he's in this movie, I want there to be no hints at all that he could become the Green Goblin. I want nothing in this movie. Not even an end credit scene. I want nothing.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I wouldn't mind I mean, what would you want? Like, but anyway, Keaton's casting. Would you rather J. Jonah Jameson Keaton, Norman Osborn Keaton, or Vulture Keaton? What do you think?
Well, from right now, from a thematic point of view, and from as a producer, the logical one would be to go to Vulture because he was in Birdman, and he's had and he's a villain, and he's big. He's big right now.
Okay, so as a fan of both Keaton and Marvel, who would you cast him as?
I wouldn't. It wouldn't be Vulture.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Who would you cast out of Norman Osborn, J. Jonah Jameson, and Vulture? Who would you cast? Because I feel like from the leak, the whole point about the Vulture suit is that as you use it, it makes you older, and so I feel like really what they should do is cast a younger actor.
Isn't that what happened in one of the villains in The Flash recently? As he used his power, he got older. That was the exact plot line of one of the Flash episodes.
You're right. Yes, you're correct. Yeah, that was a thing on The Flash recently. But I mean, for me, Michael Keaton would be a really good casting for J. Jonah Jameson, especially off the back of Spotlight.
Okay, but I think he'd be better as Norman Osborn, because look at this. Because picture this. Mm-hmm. Him and Tony Stark in suits, arguing nicely at each other at a party.
Yeah.
It just works.
I just feel like Norman Osborn should be a bit younger than Keaton is, because Norman Osborn has a son who's in high school. When you think about that can't really be Michael Keaton. He's too old.
And but I can't imagine Michael Keaton being nasty enough to be J. Jonah Jameson. Then again, it's really hard to cast anyone other than J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, I feel like could they just get J.K. Simmons back as J. Jonah Jameson? How hard would that be?
Then he's in the DC universe and the Marvel universe, and that'd be so cool.
That would be great. I really want there should be I mean, for goodness sake, we had Deadpool.
Spider-Man is a Marvel property. Anything's possible.
And also we had Ryan Reynolds. There was so much fan outcry that Ryan Reynolds was recast as Deadpool. Surely we can have that for J. Jonah Jameson being J.K. Simmons again. He was so perfect.
Brilliant. I can't imagine anyone
recast?
Else. And I feel bad for the person that does get that part.
Who would you cast? Is there any actress at the moment who you could cast as Mary Jane? Young actress.
My default answer would be Sophie Turner, but it's not going to be her because she was just an X-Men.
Yeah, I don't know. Sophie Turner is a bit bland, I find. I don't like Sophie Turner.
She's got red hair, so she would be at the top of the list.
Tricky.
I don't know. Elle Fanning would be alright, actually. She's around the right age as well.
Yeah. It's tricky. I mean,
actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm staying with that. Elle Fanning should be really good. Dye her hair red, she'd be really good.
I mean, I thought that Tom Holland so far has been by far the best Spider-Man. He was fantastic in Civil War. I really enjoyed him. I just think, they've made all the right decisions so far with Spider-Man. Apart from maybe the argument that it shouldn't have been, Peter Parker, it should have been Miles Morales. But I mean, putting that aside, I really feel like, making him young, putting him in high school, that whole plot leak, putting the focus really on him and scaling it down to, his homework and his... I mean, the whole thing kind of revolves around the homecoming dance, and I feel like, again, that's a really good thing.
Supposedly, we have to keep saying this.
Yeah, again, sorry, it's supposedly. Of course, the movie's a long way away, stuff could change. I mean, again, I felt like the rumour, if it's true, what we've had, would really suit, it would really suit, the directors. Because we got the directors of the Lego movie, directing the Spider-Man Homecoming film, which, again, is great. Yeah.
What if it has nothing to do with a high school dance? What if it's about a character, coming back?
I felt like it was really cheeky that they called it Homecoming, because of course Spider-Man's now back at Marvel. I thought that was another cheeky wink at fans, which I thought was cute. But I mean, to have the two directors from the Lego movie, and then we have the two Russo brothers directing, I feel like there's a trend in Hollywood at the moment for dual directing for really big franchises. And when you think about it, I mean, bear with me here. Joss Whedon directing Age of Ultron, it basically broke him. I mean, he was completely, stressed beyond belief. He quit Twitter. He has no new movies in development. He's just exhausted from directing it. And, the Russo brothers have handled Civil War so well. by splitting the I mean, just splitting the load.
The Russo brothers, the thing about dual directors, and the only real famous ones before them were the Coen brothers,
Yes, the
who
Coen brothers.
until I want to say Brother Where Art Thou were only ever allowed to be credited as either Joel Coen or Ethan Coen directing it.
Really?
Because of weird Directors Guild of America rules.
Wow.
But the reason we're talking about the Lego Movie. When it comes to animation movies, you often get dual directors.
Yes.
I don't know the exact reason why, but you really often get it. The same happened with the Minions movies and Despicable Me and other things like that. But I think they wanted to get one of the guys from the Lego Movie, and then he said, "I'm not going to do it if I don't have the other person." So they got them both.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I haven't seen anything about that.
I really don't think there's any gain for a movie that isn't as big as Avengers: Age of Ultron. For something as big as that, I agree. But for one-off, a standalone movie, I don't think you need two directors.
I think you're forgetting something here, though, which is that if Spider-Man is featuring Iron Man and Spidey, right? And you remember that these, which alone will make it incredibly valuable as a film. I mean, Spider-Man, whatever you may think of him, if you're a fan or if you're not, he makes a lot of money at the box office.
Yeah, until 2008,
yes,
him, Batman, and Superman were the most popular superheroes by a considerable margin.
Once upon a time, going to see a Captain America movie would be unthinkable.
Yeah.
Like, the idea that some of those old movies, you do not want to see them. But I mean, I feel like, remember that these directors are gonna have to liaise with both Sony and Marvel. That's a huge amount of stress. Because you've got to make sure that, the deal goes smoothly, that both studios are happy. You're actually pleasing not one studio, but two studios with this film. And then, you've got all the usual stresses of a movie, plus you've got all the tie-ins. I mean, that's another thing. I mean, the cross, the cross advertising, that Star Wars reference from Spidey in Civil War was fantastic. It was so seamless, it was so good, and yet it's totally PR for Disney.
That's true.
Anyway, I mean, that's the news, isn't it?
Yeah. I want to do for maybe 20 seconds or a minute. I want to start. I want to bring up a new section of the podcast. I want to call it James's 50p movie of the week.
Okay.
In the UK, we have this show. We have this shop called CEX Computer Exchange. I don't know if there's an equivalent in the US, but in this shop you can get movies and games and music really, really cheaply if you know what to look for, and so cheaply that you can get movies for 50p, which is about 75 cents.
Yeah, it's nothing.
It's nothing, and it's amazing. Like, I've seen Oscar movies that have won within 5 years who won Best Picture of the Oscars go for 75p or 50p. It makes no sense. And this week I saw a double bill, so two movies for 50p, of 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later. Two of the best zombie movies that have ever been made for 50p. And I just
sounds like a good deal.
It's an unbelievable deal.
Yeah. Well, viewers should check that out. I mean, that's only in Britain, though. This is only in Britain,
and only in this very specific store.
Yes. But if you're there, and you know that store, then this is a really good deal. You know
what? Maybe this segment wasn't as well thought out as I thought it was.
Anyway, well, that's the podcast for this week. We've done our thing. We've talked about Spidey. We've talked about those trailers. And, yeah. Oh, and another thing. Like, if you have an opinion on the news, obviously tweet us. So, yeah. So
you can tweet us at James_S Wilson and
Alice CSR Moss. That's it, all on the case. Nice and easy. And I think that's it for this week.
That's definitely it. Thank you very much for listening to another edition of the Inner Circle United podcast. For more news on games, movies, and television and the like, you can check us out at ticgn.com. We hope
See you all again soon.
And we hope you have a fantastic week. Goodbye and good love.
Ciao.